For the thousands in the comments and the millions listening on YouTube Premium.
All right, folks, welcome to another episode of KNITRO here on Knotfest. Hello.
The stars.
And Colin is back.
Finally, and I've got my own personal little Pepe with me here.
Ah,
Yes.
And the Chili Bjorn, this is me now. This is who I am.
yeah.
And I figured since, this was Nitro and this is the house that Pepe built,
Yeah.
that,
Truly.
it was time for Chili to make his be here for a full episode at least.
100%.
No
I love
costume.
Chili.
What an
being here.
episode.
This was crazy.
Yeah. It's still not full of Nitro
No.
bullshit, but I was having a ball.
The card,
Yeah.
the match that we didn't get, we'll get there. When I saw that, I was like, holy shit, let's go.
Yeah,
I didn't
agreed.
know this happened. And that's why, because it didn't.
Yeah, that's why.
I do want to mention, Colin, you picked a great few weeks to take off because
Been bad?
the last few episodes have not been good. It's been like a new level of hatred for Hulk Hogan.
Wow.
We've developed just because he's just dragging the show down, and the whole show is based around his story, and it's
Yeah.
getting worse. But there's a light at the end of the
We did
tunnel.
tell Jordan that. We were like, hey, man, the
Yeah.
Dungeon of Doom stuff, you're going to be there. You're going to be in that dungeon for a long time.
We're past the valley. We're getting back to a peak of the hill before there's going to be a big crash, but it is getting better now. This
Yes.
is actually the last time we see Dread Pirate Hogan, as Jordan coined him. Last
Genius.
Oh my
Brilliant.
God.
Yeah. It's awful.
It is. It has ruined not only the show,
Yeah.
but like it has tainted the NWO. Me knowing that this happened.
Yeah. That they already tried it and it sucked shit.
It's
And-
such the
yeah.
fact that he looks exactly the
The same.
same
Same stuff.
is such a bummer.
Yeah.
They didn't
It's-
even try anything else. They
it's
were
the
like, let's
weirdest-
put it with cooler guys.
Yeah. It's just
And also,
classic WWE, WCW revisionist history.
yeah, and
Oh
also
my
just
God.
being like, what side is Sting on? Is Sting with it? It's like same exact
Oh,
angle,
like the
too.
same story.
It's
This
They're
match was
redoing it,
better
yeah.
than the Starcade match.
This
So-
I'm surprised actually they gave them this much time. We'll get to it. I want to mention I am so excited. I don't know if you guys know the Twitter account WCW Cuts Live, WCW Deep Cuts.
Oh,
It is run by a very fine fellow, Tom Green, and
Tom Green.
he sent me a link.
I like
he
his
might
show.
have
Is
a.
his bum
he might
on
have
the
a
is his
Google
bum
Drive.
on the Nitro?
yeah.
It's a different Tom Green, not that Tom Green. He does do. I think he does
You
a
don't
weekly
say.
Twitch stream of obscure WCW shows, and he sent me a Google Drive with all the Saturday nights. So now
Wow.
I am going to do more work, folks. I'm going to scan through the Saturday nights, and there is actually info on these shows that carries over
Wow.
to the Nitros. Like, for example, on the previous, I watched the Saturday night before this one and the one after this one.
You're
this
unbelievable.
Nitro. I mean, I didn't watch them. I like scanned through them in the half hour before we started because the matches are like whatever.
Who cares?
But there is story progression. There was another Dread Pirate Hogan thing on that set on Saturday night, and he brought in Macho Man, who also had that Phantom mask on, which I was like blown away. But there was nothing near the level of corniness of the original promo. It was just them essentially hyping the match Hogan versus Sting and asking what side is Sting on. That was the only real storyline development. And we learn. Oh, go ahead.
I gotta say, if we didn't do this show
Mhm.
and you did not tell me that Hogan is supposed to be a heel right now, I wouldn't know. I just
He doesn't
would have
know.
thought.
No, he doesn't know.
I just would have thought this is weird,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it is weird.
It is weird.
Whatever they're trying to get across with any of this, they've done it for months.
Yeah.
They've had so much time dedicated to what they're doing, and I do not understand it.
Well, they don't like it, but that comes down to Hogan being a prick, because in the match he's working as a chicken shit heel, but still doing the
still doing
he's
the
doing
ear
the comeback.
cupping.
He's doing all the stuff. So
the hulking up. I didn't
go.
understand the Hulk up.
It makes no sense.
We're jumping ahead.
Yeah.
Let's start. We start on Bischoff, who introduces all the co-hosts, and then of course introduces Pepe.
Cowboy Pepe.
Cowboy
Again.
cow print. Cowboy Pepe.
Oh my God, Shawn Michaels Pepe.
I look at I said out loud, "Oh my goodness!" when they showed it.
Chaps, beautiful.
Oh, just look. And honestly, Mongo with a great call right off the bat, being like, "Hey, this main event is insane. That this is on free TV." So it's like he's starting to get it a little bit, and then later he is Mongo.
And then,
a little behind the scenes, this is a big, very competitive night. The night before was WWF Survivor Series. And at the Survivor Series, Bret Hart defeated Diesel to become the new WWF champion.
Big.
So there was a title change. So both shows are going head-to-head live, and all month, WWF is going to be live for the first time ever. So they're feeling the heat. And you can feel it because Bischoff is desperately asking people, do not change the channel. Just watch our fucking
He
show.
says it all night.
all night.
And we start with, this is the night of rematches because the first match is The Shark versus Scott Flash Norton. And I will say this was the best match they've had.
Oh
no, they did have a match 2 weeks ago while you
they
were
did.
out. And it was nothing. This was actually
They finally
much better.
blew off since 9/11.
They finally blew it off. Listen, Scott pinned the Shark. Mission accomplished.
Let's
I
do
want
it
to mention they mentioned that his nickname Flash was from his days in arm wrestling, which reminded me that Scott Flash Norton has a cameo in the Sylvester Stallone arm wrestling vehicle Over the Top.
Over the top.
Incredible.
That's right. Jordan, are you a
Dude.
Scott Norton believer now, or are you still not?
Oh, here's the thing. I never wasn't a believer in I just think the fact that they've sold Flash now definitely works. And I also love it because this match specifically looks like two different barbecue restaurant owners fighting over turf.
Yes.
It's unbelievable.
Who gets to man the grill?
Yeah.
I actually really
you
like
stole my recipe, you son of a bitch.
That was mine, man. I had it before 9/11.
I had it before. I've been putting Dr. Pepper in it since my daddy.
and the match ended with a power slam, which
a
totally believable though because it
beautiful
looked
power
awesome.
slam.
Yeah,
Not even just a body slam. A regular
You're
not
right.
a power,
Yeah.
not even a power slam.
It was
Just
power
a
because
really-
it landed. They both bumped, therefore it's power. But that's mostly because of Shark's size.
yeah.
And it
gotta say
getting
this.
him up like that. I was like, holy fuck. He's strong.
They sold it like it was Hogan Andre.
Yeah.
They were like,
God, he's done it. It was. I mean, this match was dog shit, but that was awesome.
yeah, it was awesome. You know what was fucking awesome? I noticed that the whole time we've seen Shark, we've all been like, I feel terrible for this man having to do this dog shit children's birthday party gimmick. But then I noticed that that Shark has covered up a tattoo with a shark on his arm, on his bicep.
Which was that pre-gimmick, or was that because you got to think about this in this age of wrestling. If a guy came in and they had one tattoo, that was their logo for the rest of their life.
You're right.
So I'm wondering if Eric was like, "Whoa, badass Shark, man! I think I got something for that."
And here's the thing:
so
if
it
he
was
got
originally like a tiger, and then he got it covered up to be a shark.
I love that he's like, I can't have the tiger and the the shark be friends. I can only have one guy. It's a shark, actually.
Shark.
Dude, well, here's the thing. Either way, it's like, oh, you like my shark? Dude, fuck yeah, I'm in.
Yeah.
Or it's, you know what? This shark gimmick has got something. I'm gonna buy houses with this gimmick.
Like Shark and Disco Inferno on one show, 12 weeks in a row. it just showed like this was never gonna work forever, you know. The NWO, without the NWO, this company would have folded in 1996.
They would have, like, without Hogan at all, they would have folded with some of this shit. This is crazy.
This fucking sucks. Heenan
this has
saying
nothing to do with Hogan, and it sucks.
Heenan before the opener saying, like, I never thought I'd say this, but I want Sting to beat Hogan was maybe feel good moment of the show for me.
Yeah.
That's canonically insane to hear.
Yeah.
Felt good.
It felt great. Bobby had
great zingers this episode.
Bobby and Mean Gene with like fucking kill shots, dude.
Dude, because the promo happens after this with Kevin Sullivan, and Kevin Sullivan is bumbling and stumbling through whatever, and eventually Mean Gene just goes, "Okay, and what's your point?"
He also opens it with, the way you've been stirring the pot, it's starting to really smell.
Dude, I'm shooting forward here, and I'm so sorry, but there's a point where Mongo says, like, "Man, your breath smells. Dude, you need a mint." Or
dude,
whatever.
I wrote on my notes, Mongo with the dumbest shit I've ever heard.
And then Brain coming back going like, "My breath smells? You stink." Unbelievable.
Yeah,
dude, this
stuff.
chili spot is
hold on. There's
unreal.
one more Gene thing. And when he closes the interview, he's like, "All right, thank you very much. 2 of the biggest pieces of human garbage that I can ever recall." Like, with the most deadpan professional delivery, I was dying.
He's perfect, man.
He's the best. I love him.
And that's why this show works, is because you have Bobby Heenan and you have Mean Gene, like 2 of the best guys to ever talk on a microphone in any facet whatsoever.
Yeah.
Like, that's what
Why
matters.
are they not the commentary team of this?
Why
This
is
crazy.
Eric doing anything?
That's the other thing about Saturday night. The commentary team is Tony Schiavone and Dusty Rhodes, and it's beautiful. It's
Why?
It's on.
Why not on this also?
Jordan,
Soon,
eventually the pay-per-view commentary teams is Bobby Heenan, Dusty, and Tony.
And Tony, yeah.
And it's
really
amazing.
There was also one line by Mongo in the previous match. He said, "This is surf and turf, baby. A shark versus a rhinoceros." I loved it. I really love the Mongoisms.
That was fucking awesome. Oh my
we got
God.
a Disco Inferno bullshit spot up next. I wrote in my notes here, Disco KYS.
I don't know. What could that mean?
Something dope.
Probably something dope.
Something hopeful and positive.
Yeah, absolutely. It means that we like it.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
That here's the thing. They did this already.
Yeah.
2 times. Eddy Guerrero has interrupted Disco Inferno doing something.
Yeah, I don't get
like
it.
3 times. And the problem with that is Eddy Guerrero should not be interrupting anybody because he's at work.
Yeah, straight up.
Let this man go to work.
12 weeks of Disco Inferno coming out and dancing and being like, "Hey, what the heck?" And then going to the back. Like, this has to be one of the worst creative decisions ever, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, one of the worst things that guy ever wrote.
He wrestles on Saturday night just like a jobber, but it's a nothing match. I don't know, like, who finds this funny, or like, who does he have some sort of compromising footage of to get himself on television every week?
It seems that everything that is like written or planned for the show is the worst thing in the world. We have seen in a row the worst wrestling has to offer in 12 episodes.
And then we get this
I will say
match.
this is one of the stronger episodes because so where we're advertising. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, the wrestling. I think that there's stuff that happens in spite. Of like.
Oh,
the
I see what you're saying. Yes,
stuff.
All their bits.
Their bits. If like a guy gets to go to the ring and just talk, he can save it.
Yeah.
But if it's like you got to sell Hollywood Halloween. You got to sell Halloween Hogan. You got to make it work.
Halloween. So yeah, we're advertised Flair and Guerrero, which I was like, holy shit,
dude. I was looking down, passionately eating a bagel, and I heard was it Bobby that was like, "We've got Eddy Guerrero versus Ric Flair up next." I like choked and gasped.
Yeah,
what kind of what? And then I wrote in my notes, "Holy fucking shit! Oh my god!" And then the next note is, "God damn it!" Because then we do get Eddy Guerrero.
Ric Flair
versus
actually
Brian Pillman.
injured himself. He injured himself, I learned, in the Wrestling Observer, which, by the way, we have to spend like 5 minutes after talking about all the gossip in the Wrestling Observer. So Flair got an injury on the weekend shows to his shoulder, and so he couldn't wrestle, which is why he gave this excuse that he was above wrestling Eddy Guerrero. Still, Flair, a wonderful, like, 30-second promo.
Yeah, it was good. And it was it made sense.
I'll keep the jet running is great.
Yes.
I'm going to start saying that.
Yeah.
And and honestly, if you're going to have a replacement, Brian Pillman couldn't be a better replacement. These two guys gelled so well. They had a 2023 wrestling match. There was stuff in here.
Lit. It was started fucking on fire.
On fire.
It was so good. Guerrero tries to do a top rope plancha and the best counter drop kick I've ever seen. People do the spot all the time, and I always feel it's mistimed, where like the drop kick looks too weak. But this was perfect.
It was perfect. And Bobby, all the while, is putting Eddy over by burying him masterfully.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like being like, everybody won't shut up about this Eddy Guerrero guy. God, yeah, I get he's handsome and he's fast and he's cool, but like, whatever.
Yeah.
That's
They won't stop talking about it. Like, Eddy Guerrero, oh my God, he can do all the wrestling moves. He can fuck my wife better than me. I get it. Eddy
He smells
Guerrero.
good. He tastes good, I can only assume.
And Guerrero does this dive from the top rope to the entranceway.
Yeah.
Brian Pillman couldn't be in better position. Dude. Right there to catch him. It looked so safe. He caught him like a baby.
That was like a worthy of the TV intro opening credits type dive.
Yeah, the shot was really good too.
Dude, that brainbuster towards the end.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so
brainbuster to frog splash.
Oh my God.
An incredible frog splash.
With a clean finish.
And I want to say, Brian Pillman, total professional. I assumed Pillman was winning. And you'll notice Guerrero gives him the respect of hooking both legs.
Yeah.
And Pillman does not attempt the shitty 3.5 kick out.
He's done.
He instead waits until Guerrero lets go of the pin to show his frustration that he can't believe that this guy beat him.
Mm-hmm.
It was like he put him over like $1 million. This
was
is
so
the best
good.
Eddy Guerrero has looked in WCW so far.
I agree. It is also a fucking uphill battle for them because of the Ric Flair. I didn't know the context of the Ric Flair thing. So
right. Yeah, I didn't know this until after either.
I thought that they set up Ric Flair and then didn't give us Ric Flair. And I thought that was very funny because immediately when the match starts, Eric is hyping the main event and he's like, don't turn away. We have the biggest main event of all time. And in my head, I'm like, you are hyping up a big match with the two most famous guys on the show. Yeah. And you also promised us a match with the third most famous guy in the show, and it didn't happen.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's fucking crazy. Like, I know this thing didn't happen, but please, I promise you. Oh my God.
It's been 12 weeks. Why would I trust you anymore?
Yeah.
You always be lying on here.
And they knew that Flair couldn't wrestle. Why not have Flair do this promo at the very beginning of the show?
Because it's more Flair-esque to be like, I'm not wrestling to you people. But then
right.
And then we get the Eddy win to, get the feel-good moment out of it, which shows faith in him from the company.
Yep.
So I felt really good watching Eddy win this I felt comforted.
I was very happy about it.
Yeah.
I agree.
The show turns here.
It sure does.
For a second. And then I wrote in my note, I did a classic Colin, we're eating good, and then fucking Big Bubba comes out and Hawk comes out, and I'm like, we're eating shit.
We're eating shit. But Hawk with a Road Warrior pop at this show is fucking loud as hell.
Well,
Dude.
they were in Macon, Georgia, so this is Road Warrior country.
Big time. I will say, Hawk, like Boss Man, one of
Big
the most
Bubba.
generous heels to ever work.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's so big and so menacing and can do so many things, but still plays the like, no, please, role so well that I didn't hate this match at all.
I actually thought this was fine. Yeah, I agree. It was a big guy stiff match.
Yeah.
You didn't like it, Jordan. I see by your reaction.
You're all busted. What, dude?
Well,
the finish,
I hated
the finish is a guy trips Big Boss Man and Hawk pins him.
Yeah, no, the finish was silly, and then Hawk is like, "I told you I'm bad." So it's like, what do you mean?
Yeah,
but
I'm back. I'm back.
Oh, okay. I thought he said bad for some reason.
I told you I'm back. Are you though? Are you back? Like,
I love a Hoss fight. You know?
Yeah,
sure.
So I want to
two of the best
because I didn't get it either. But it turns out that Hacksaw Jim Duggan, who is the guy who ran in and tripped Big Bubba, is facing Big Bubba at the pay-per-view this Sunday in a tape fist match. And which is why they were doing that whole tape fist thing, which Bubba completely messed up. At one point, Bubba took a spot in the corner and the brass knuckles fell out of his pocket. I'm 100% certain they were not supposed to fall out because the camera leaves it in the shot, but nobody talks about it. And the ref goes out of his way to look away from the brass knucks, and Bubba quickly puts him back in his pocket.
That was funny. He did it all bashfully.
Yeah.
Oh,
so this was a total. That part sucked. I agree with you, Jordan. But
now I like that part. That's like when your girlfriend sees the ring before you can propose. Oh shit.
So some great moments on commentary I have in my notes. Bischoff saying that he lived in the rough part of Chicago on Rush Street. And he would watch Road Warrior Hawk, the Road Warriors from Chicago, get into fights there. I wish we had Bo on this week to confirm that Rush Street
Rush Street's
is
actually
rough.
a pretty good neighborhood.
Is that your Bo?
That's my Bo. No, that's my
Or is that
Andrew
just
Morrissey,
a Chicago man?
Yeah, it's just Chicago.
At one point,
my hero, Andrew Morrissey.
Bubba does an incredible what's that like a belly? I can't even think of the move. The Arn Anderson his signature spine buster. Thank you. Oh my god, my wrestling brain.
Yeah, he really did.
He did a great and Brain marked out. He was like, "Whoa, the Hawk has been grounded," and then Mongo pipes in. He got his wings clipped, didn't he, darling? Like what? Calling the Brain darling?
Meanwhile, Eric won't shut up about a potential debut happening at World War III. He's like, you never know.
Right. Oh, and this is also where they reveal who the third giant is, which is the one-man gang who hasn't been a main eventer for over 7 years. Like, this is such a hack third giant. He's not even that tall. There was a segment on Saturday night where we see him in the Dungeon of Doom set, and I'm like, wow, I'm so glad we were spared this.
Yeah. When did fucking Hugh Morris join the Dungeon of Doom? I missed that.
This week. This just happened.
This was
this past Saturday, he had just joined Hugh Morris. You see it in the Saturday night teaser that this new wrestler on the prowl, Hugh Morris, like humorous, is
I was gonna say like it's but he's not a comedy bit.
No,
his name
his bit is that he giggles
like Joker.
He just laughs. Yeah, it's bad,
and that's the famed Bill DeMott, the canceled NXT coach guy.
Yeah, the former WWE
abusive coach. NXT coach, Bill DeMott.
I'm really thankful that there was only 12 episodes of Nitro. So it's been nice doing the show with you guys. Yeah. Glad it's over.
I get it, man. It's main event time. It's main event time.
But this main event,
it's pretty good. I wrote
sick.
Kill him, Sting. Crowd is hot.
Yes.
This shit rocks.
This fucking Sting
the dumb
coming
Phantom
out.
mask. Oh,
Sting coming out in Hogan colors after
love that.
Weeks ago, Hogan told him not to wear those colors.
Love
an immediate
so
fuck you.
Awesome.
He looked so good.
Awesome. He looked
that
amazing.
jacket.
Him growing his hair, he's like the only dude in the world who
With
looks
hair.
good growing out the blonde.
Yeah.
He also had like a 5 o'clock shadow going a little bit. This
He looked
episode, I
fucking
feel.
gorgeous.
He looked great.
He's the best wrestler of all time.
Absolutely.
And watching them work each other, he makes Hogan look so bad.
Hogan,
He's so much better than Hogan.
I know,
like,
man.
Why are you wasting your time with Hogan? Like Hogan, first of all, he wore the dumb Phantom mask, which I could not believe he wore that. He barely could get over the guardrail to sneak into the ring. The whole crowd is booing him because, again, they're in Macon, Georgia, like prime WCW country, who hated Hogan for, like, WWF would never tour there. So all these people hated Hogan. He's the away team.
Right.
And the crowd is booing so long, and Sting looks like such a doofus being like, where's Hogan? Where's Hogan? Finally, he attacks him. Hogan has to play the heel. Like we said, Hogan is
shit, dude.
This is the first time Hogan has carried the match as the heel in maybe 10 years, probably. And he has no offense.
None.
He does. Look, I just started jiu-jitsu, not to brag, but only to say that Hulk Hogan did the absolute worst armbar I have ever seen. It was like in triple slow motion. He carried Sting, and it looked terrible. Poor Sting had to sell this awful armbar.
And it's so funny that people always bring up the videos of Hogan in Japan, where it's like, look, this is him in Japan. He can actually work. And all of that stuff is like month 1 wrestling school stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Absolutely.
And now he's not even doing that.
Yeah, he does like the spin over the crouched body or whatever.
Meanwhile, Sting is doing like the most beautiful running crossbody you've ever seen.
Dude, a drop kick, like a drop kick like I've never seen.
Dude.
Drop salts.
He's doing 6'4" height vert drop salts, dude.
There was a cool spot where he does the Stinger splash, and Hogan catches him in a bear hug. That was pretty bad. That was like the one time I had to hand it to Hogan.
This match is good, straight up.
This match is good. Up until the ending, which I thought would have happened like 1 minute in. At least they gave them 9. Like it was, I had such low expectations that they blew past them.
Dude, the second Scorpion Deathlock.
Awesome.
I was like,
I was so mad.
Yo, this is insane.
I was so mad that Hogan broke the Scorpion Deadlock at first. I was like, how dare you?
I know.
Like, they need to protect this finisher. What the fuck? But I took it back immediately because then Sting gets out of the way of the leg drop, hamstring injury, puts in the Scorpion Deathlock, and basically had the match won. Hogan is telling the ref, I'm not going to be able to make it.
Yeah.
And then the match ends.
He's going to break my leg.
He's gonna break my leg
into the camera.
It's fucking bad.
On the following, it's so good. I was losing. I was like, "Fuck yes, Sting! You show him who's the franchise."
Straight up, dude.
Dude, how was this not the Starrcade '97 finish, but the tap? Do the exact same match.
Exact same
I could have
thing.
seen every single spot is the same, but the ref rings the bell.
He wasn't tan, Jordan, so he couldn't do it.
Yeah, he was out of shape. That was their excuse.
Fucking
That was
dog
what
shit.
Bischoff said.
Sting is the best wrestler of all time. This is Hogan's best match ever.
Best match literally ever. We were saying this in the week you were gone, Colin. I think it's extremely funny because like the Ultimate Warrior and Sting were a tag team.
Yeah.
And like Sting is kind of Vince McMahon's dream that he never got.
100%.
Like there's a world where Sting gets the Ultimate Warrior spot, and this match like happens at WrestleMania 6.
Yeah.
And Sting is like the double champion.
And then remain that way forever because he's like a really good guy.
Oh my God. Best. Because the thing is, under the like right circumstances, like the Ultimate Warrior would have continued to be the guy.
Yeah.
Until like
if he had gotten better at wrestling and was like a nice guy, I'm sure it would have been great.
Yeah, he would have beat John Cena in like 2012. Like, crazy.
There was a great Heenan and Mongo exchange during this match. Bischoff is like losing his shit, like, oh, how could these two fight? They're the two biggest stars in WCW. And Mongo's like, me and my younger brother would fight like this all the time. Heenan, not missing a beat, goes, yeah, but he's 9. timing.
He's perfect. He's the best ever.
So good. So
Best
good.
of all time.
Overall, fast 50 minutes for me. This one.
Yeah.
Totally.
Blew by.
It was blasted
And the
by.
perfect ending to set up the pay-per-view that has a battle royal. Like they showed that the Giant could be eliminated if
That was cool.
the
If they
two
worked
guys work together.
Is this
Yeah,
the
and
go home?
what a this is the go home.
Oh
World War
my
III is this
God.
Sunday.
Let's
We got
go.
World
Yeah.
War III. Oh fuck! I'm
World
so
War III is
excited.
next.
Wow.
I want to go through the card
Please.
because we definitely don't have to watch the whole show because there's some filler. But so the opening match is for the World Television title. This feud has been going on during Saturday night, which is Johnny B. Bad versus Diamond Dallas Page. If Johnny B. Bad wins, the Diamond Doll is freed from her contract with Diamond Dallas Page, and she can go with Johnny B. Bad.
This is good
The
stuff.
the divorce is final.
Oh, this is good stuff.
I love
So
it.
that
You know,
I mean, that's
I'm
gonna
in for
rock.
my boy JBB.
I knew you were gonna watch that. That match got like 3 stars from Meltzer, so that's a good one.
Yeah,
Anything over
cool.
3 is worth watching. Next, this match didn't even get a rating. The taped fist match: Big Bubba Rogers versus Jim Duggan. I don't give a crap.
I'll never know.
This next match got 4 stars from the Observer. I cannot wait to watch this. They flew in 4 top Japanese Joshis, the women wrestlers, Akira Hokuto and Bull Nakano.
Wow.
Whoa!
To take on Cutie Suzuki and Mayumi Ozaki.
Wow.
This match is going to fuck.
Yeah,
This match is
insane.
going to be so good.
What the hell? Yeah.
That's awesome.
Then
That's
we
so
get
sick.
the new United States Heavyweight Champion, which, by the way, I don't know if you noticed, Sting is no longer the U.S. champion.
Yeah, what
I'm
happened?
not sure if they mentioned it on commentary.
They did
There was
not,
a
of
show in
course.
Japan the week before. They had a crossover pay-per-view, like a Forbidden Door type event. And Sting lost the U.S. title to Kensuke Sasaki. And so Kensuke Sasaki is going to be defending. I guess they didn't want to mention that because Sting is in the main event
Yeah,
and all
they wanna
that.
keep
But
him over.
he's defending it against Chris Benoit at the pay-per-view. So
Ooh.
that should be a pretty badass match.
That's gonna be good.
It's gonna be good, and there's nothing we can do about
No.
it.
Then
Sadly.
Then there's Savage versus Luger. And that's apparently from what I read, it's it's a big storyline match. There's a storyline thing.
Okay.
I'll watch
And then the pre-battle royal match is Sting versus Ric Flair. I mean, we've already established these two always make
Oh
magic
my
together.
god!
Also,
This card is
Oh,
stacked.
This card is sick.
Yeah.
I'll watch
And
the
then-
tape fists too. Whatever. At this point,
and then of course the 3-ring 60-man battle royal. Each ring has a set of commentators for that ring. So
Fucking
we're going to hear
badass.
Dusty on the show. We're going to hear the C Team. Chris Cruz is going to be on the show. He's like the
Jesus
C
Christ.
Team announcer. So that's how deep the roster goes. This is going to be every wrestler in WCW. They're going to be bringing in special guests. It's going to be a mess, but you know who won't be there? Sabu will no longer be there. You might remember during the first match on the WCW Hotline Tease, they said Mike Tenay has the exclusive scoop on a wrestler who's no longer in WCW. Funny enough, Sabu was watching at the time and called the hotline, and that is how he learned that he got fired.
What?
He actually, yeah. So there's a whole thing about Sabu in the Wrestling Observer this week. In fact, this is a very interesting issue of the Wrestling Observer.
Wow.
And the reason that I say this is because there's a lot of bits of information that Meltzer prints in here that essentially upset Hulk Hogan to the point that on the World War III pay-per-view, you will get to see an interview segment where Hulk Hogan calls out the Wrestling Observer newsletter.
Wow.
It's going to be awesome. Okay.
Damn.
So
we got to hear this dirt.
okay, so the Sabu thing is like I'll save the Sabu thing for last. So first, he talks about the ratings for Nitro versus Raw, and he says that and Nitro won the night. They won they got a 2.5 rating to the Raw 2.3 rating.
Wow.
But Meltzer says it's actually a disappointment. They should be really upset about this because this is the biggest match WCW had to offer, and they only got 0.2 higher than Raw.
So it's week 12 of the show existing. Well, how is that a disappointment?
He says, this is what he said. Neither figure can be considered successful. The Hogan Sting Dream match drew a lower number than the Flair Anderson cage match a few weeks prior, which shows even with the best match possible, Hulk Hogan has no juice left to have a major impact on ratings. You better believe he is upset about that line.
Wow.
He later goes, Hogan, dressed in all black and played Peel, was booed out of the Macon Coliseum by the largely papered full house of 6,000. Imagine, paper means giving tickets away for free, by the way.
Right.
Imagine having to paper heavily a Hogan Sting match and only doing a $13,000 house. So
That's
a lot.
Ice cold.
Oh my God. He's fucking.
Whew, so his retort is live on pay-per-view.
Live on pay-per-view, Daddy.
Is that really that's the biggest match they had is
Sting and Hogan, that's the money match.
That's their two big faces.
Yeah. If it was Sting, Hogan, Flair, triple threat, that's the biggest match. And Macho Man.
Hogan's first match in was Hogan versus Flair. So they gave it away right away.
Right.
So that's gone. Macho and Hogan, I get it, but Macho and Hogan we've seen before in WWF. Right. Hogan versus Sting never ever happened before.
Right.
So it was the biggest match they could possibly offer. They just gave it away. Yeah,
and they gave it away and didn't they loosely alluded to it on the last episode. So they're mostly promoting this match like from the
episode.
show.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm wondering if they actually pushed it for a couple of weeks. If you had a week break in there, would it actually make a difference? But did people know that this was happening? It's also it is week 12.
I've only taken 2 weeks off, 2 or 3 weeks off the show, and I saw this
some people can't watch every week.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's the other thing is it was we brought up earlier. Like the Ric Flair match didn't happen. There's probably a lot of people based on watching the show for 12 weeks were like, it's going to be a schmaz. The match won't happen.
They're going to fool me again. Yeah.
And then the finish was bullshit. So it's like week 12, you're establishing that there's almost no reason to watch this show.
Right. Yeah. And there's been plenty of bullshit finishes all throughout the previous 3 months.
Oh, I'm sure.
He also claims that Flair's shoulder injury is so bad that he will not be able to wrestle until after Christmas, which is, of course, countered by Ric Flair wrestling that Sunday at the pay-per-view. So that I think that also plays into them trying to call out Meltzer as being a liar, which look, 30 years later, nothing's changed with wrestlers trying to call him out. So I quickly want to read this thing because it's
so.
Yeah, well, I mean, hey, he's being fed some false information.
Well, it's the dumbest profession ever. Because any wrestler can be like, I'm going to tell him this thing to get myself over, and he's going to print it.
Yeah, and how do you verify? You
can't. You just have to go, this guy told me this. Mm-hmm. And you can't even say that.
And you want to write salacious stuff because that's how you get the readers. So he has this whole thing about the Sabu thing, which is crazy. And then we could end on this. This is the last bit that I thought was good. Sabu had been working with WCW, although to the best of our knowledge, never had signed a contract offered to him. WCW had been upset with Sabu for numerous reasons, such as him brawling out of the ring more than they wanted and going longer than scheduled in some television matches. Additionally, the Sheik was not supposed to throw fire at the pay-per-view show, and it caught everyone at WCW by surprise.
He was just getting his bag and saying, fuck you, I'm going back to WCW.
He's got to make sure he gets booked again.
Badass.
Sick.
Sabu was unhappy at being a mid-card performer, and those in WWF say he insisted on not having his weight. And in WCW, I think that was a typo by Meltzer, insisted on not having his weight announced because of the belief that if he was categorized as a junior heavyweight, he could not work on top. WCW allows its wrestlers to work indie shows provided they don't work for WWF, ECW, or Smoky Mountain Wrestling, which was Jim Cornette's promotion, which are considered enemy promotions. It was no secret within the company that the wrestlers and booking committee, while admitting to his guts and his work ethic, thought he was a poor worker, which is why they kept his matches short. Sabu, who had left for a Japan tour at the press time and wasn't able to be reached, had told another reporter before leaving that he had called up Bischoff on November 20th, which was the day of this Nitro, and Bischoff told him he was too busy to talk with him at the time. That's when he watched the Nitro, saw the little gossip bit that somebody from WCW is no longer there, and called and learned about it.
Unbelievable.
He hadn't been told anything at that point. While it has been reported elsewhere that Sabu had quit WCW, no one in WCW was aware of it, nor was Sabu, although many were aware of the tensions.
Wow.
Yeah, crazy stuff. And then he went back to ECW.
Crazy.
So pretty wild stuff, folks. And then now we have World War III, which should be fun.
I'm gonna have a great time.
The Battle Royal is gonna be such a mess.
It's gonna be awesome.
I can't wait. It's anytime I've ever heard a wrestling idea that's like that sounds like too much, I've been like,
it's just
fantastic.
It's gonna be good.
I love that. Yeah.
Yeah, they should bring this back now.
It's a 50 swords match. There's going to be 50 swords in the ring, and I'm like, great.
Man, yeah.
Let them use all of them.
Precisely. Well, this was a great episode of Nitro.
I loved it.
Absolutely. A great way for you to pop back in here, Colin. It's great
this is a good time. It's great to see you guys. You look gorgeous.
You look gorgeous.
Stop it.
Look at that mullet.
Yeah, it's
great stuff.
It's mullet.
What kind of mullet? We got to figure out what kind of mullet you got going on here.
Me?
We have amongst the universe of mullets that we've talked about on this show.
Right.
What were you going
mullet, you know?
I was gonna say you have like a Kurt Russell Big Trouble Little China
Sure.
mullet.
It's kind of a Chris Benoit mullet.
I didn't want to. That's where my mind went. I was like, I guess of all the people on the show, it kind of looks like Chris Benoit.
I didn't ask for
Kind
the
of a
Benoit.
Benoit
I was given the Benoit, and I'll take it.
Well, do you have a similar thickness to your hair? So it's not like you could help it.
Yeah, it's fine.
Thanks for watching. Follow us, NitroPod, on social media.
I love
Big
my
thanks.
wife.
He loves his wife and dogs.
I love my wife
And
my other dog.
we love our editor, Rob Benzer. Thank you for making us look all pretty.
Rob's the best.
And thank you for watching.
No, yeah, we're definitely not gonna shoot Rob and
neither Rob, I hope.
No Robs.
Nope. Rob's good too.
No
Rob
Robs will
gets
be
to
hurt.
live. I'm not Chris Benoit.
That's Colin Young. He's doing a good job,
We're
mate.
good. Maybe I need a fucking haircut. All right. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye.